Andraki Namaskaram. Today, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another inspiring episode of Desi Dynamos stories of Indian-American Trailblazers, and you are in season 1. This evening, we are delighted to actually put the spotlight on a visionary academic leader, a cultural advocate, and a champion of Indian heritage in the United States. For all the Telugus out there, feel very proud today. This person's dedication to preserving and promoting Indian languages and arts has empowered thousands of students and families worldwide. Please join me in welcoming Shri Raju Chamarthi, the Provost of the University of SiliconAndhra and a driving force behind the globally acclaimed SiliconAndhra's ManaBadi initiative. Raju Chamarthi's journey from a successful more than 20-year-old career in Silicon Valley's tech industry to becoming a full-time academician and a cultural leader is as inspiring as it is impactful. As president and dean of SiliconAndhra ManaBadi, he transformed a small village learning project with just 150 students in 2007 into an international education powerhouse. Today, ManaBadi has over 12,000 students across 35 United States, and 12 countries across the globe. It is celebrated as the Ivy League standard Telugu language education center. Under Raju's visionary leadership, SiliconAndhra ManaBadi has achieved prestigious accreditation and helped make Telugu one of the fastest growing languages in this place, the United States. His dedication extends much beyond the classroom, having organized cultural festivals, competitions, and innovative programs to give young learners platforms to celebrate their heritage. Through his work, Raju Garu has inspired a movement that ensures the Telugu language and culture remain vibrant for future generations to enjoy. Beyond his work with ManaBadi, Raju Garu has played a pivotal role at the University of SiliconAndhra, overseeing the academic programs and achieving WSCUC accreditation, a very, very versatile standard. He is also committed as a community leader, having served as the president of the Rotary Club of SiliconAndhra, where he has led service projects that benefit communities worldwide, and all this by example. So without much further ado, let's welcome a true Telugu Desi Dynamo, the transformative cultural educator and academic leader, Shri Raju Chamarthi. Welcome, Raju Garu, to the studios of Meenamma. How do you feel today?
Thank you, Meenamma Garu, for having me here. That was a very, great introduction. We feel that there's so much more that we need to do, with the blessings from God, we hope to achieve all of those. Thank you for having me on Meenamma show.
Yes, Raju Garu. Actually, this program is called Desi Dynamos, and people like you, brothers like you, have truly made India a member of a force to reckon with in the United States. The story is all about powerhouses. But, all of us come with a background in culture soaked in traditions. Tell us about young Raju's childhood, where he grew up, and what inspired him to do what he's doing today.
Great. I come from a very small village called Vadamalapeta, which is very close to Tirupati. Tirupati is a very well-known city for everyone. It's about 20 kilometers away from Tirupati. I am born in a very lower middle-class family. I have 2 sisters and a younger brother. I did much of my studies in that village from 1st grade to up to 8th grade. Then I got lucky and I was sent to Bombay. Central government of India, they had a merit scholarship scheme where I have attended some competitive exams at the district level in Chittor. And then once I was selected there, then I was sent to Hyderabad at that time, and where I had 3 days of constant examinations. And as a kid in the 8th grade, going through and then in front of a panel of 11 people, asking me all kinds of questions. And then I was fortunate to be selected as one of the 7 students from the state of Andhra Pradesh, okay, at that age. So my education was all in Telugu medium up until 8th grade. Then I went to a prestigious school in Bombay, now known as Mumbai. The school is Hansraj Morarji Public School. Hansraj Morarji Public School, it's one of the topmost schools in Bombay. So I studied my 9th grade and 10th grade there, converting from Telugu medium to English medium. That was a big challenge. There were so many evenings and nights I was crying, because I do not know how to even communicate. Everybody there, speaking in English and Hindi, but it took me like 6 months to make my mark there. And then after finishing my 10th grade, then they sent me to Nasik, Bhonsla Military School. That gives the generals of Indian Army to the country. And then I was a gold medalist there in 1996, the Bhonsla Military School. But somehow, my parents and everybody around me, they were always telling me, okay, hey, you need to become an engineer. You are the only hope for all our, families and our village. And then you need to, that was there from my childhood. And education wise, I was always like, ahead of the class. When I was in 7th grade, I was tutoring 9th grade students. When I was in 8th grade, I was tutoring 10th grade students with their math, English and stuff like that. So I had a very good, fortune, with my gurus, teachers, who gave me that knowledge to be the best in the class. So then after my 12th grade, the program was still 12th grade, so I had to come back. And I did my engineering at JNTU, Jawaharlal Nehru Technological University, Anantapur. I did my engineering in electronics and communications. And then I came to America in 1993 and did my master's in computer science from Lamar University in Texas. And I was the best graduate student for year 1995. Then I moved to Silicon Valley, and then the journey started. So that is at a high level, Meenamma, my childhood, and then how I ended up in America.
How inspirational, Raju Garu. A small boy from a small village. India is replete with such beautiful stories of people who dreamed big. And growing up in a small village in India, and later transitioning to a country of opportunity, a very, very established country like the United States. How did these cultural shifts from the value systems, from two different countries impact your understanding of your heritage? How did you understand, when we're able to see from far away, we understand our heritage. And how did this influence your mission to promote Telugu language and culture? See, there's a Telugu boy here. And that's the closest to your heart is your language and your city, your village. So how did all this happen for you? How did heritage come to you?
It's a simple thing, as a child, you go through everything. We were a combined family, and my parents, my mom, my father, and we all grew up, with my sisters and everybody in a small house. It's a village atmosphere. We used to celebrate festivals and going to temples, relatives. So the concept of togetherness, the power in staying together, that was there from the childhood. My mother never went to school. She never had the opportunity to go to school. She can only speak in Telugu, and she does not know any other language. She cannot read, write. So from that background, they made a lot of sacrifices to get me to the stage that I am in. A lot of people, including the government of India, invested a lot in me to become what I am today. So after I came to America, I got married, to a beautiful wife. My wife's name is Sirisha, and we were married in 1995 after my studies in America. Then I got her here to America, and then we have two beautiful daughters, Pranavi and Jahnavi.
Lovely.
So my interest and our interest was always been that our kids, we want them to communicate freely and openly and with great affection and love in our language to their grandparents. Okay, so from my wife's side, my mother-in-law and father-in-law, they can read and write, but they can only do so in Telugu, nothing else. So teaching Telugu was a very, very important thing. And our kids, because they are away from our motherland, so from the beginning we got them involved in Kuchipudi dance, Carnatic Sangeetam, and then they chant Bhagavad Gita, a lot of those things along with their education. So we were looking for opportunities to see where we could give them the gift of our mother tongue. And that is when the SiliconAndhra, where I have been a volunteer. SiliconAndhra has been there from 2001. I was a volunteer there, and SiliconAndhra is a very well-known platinum rated non-profit in the world, doing so many things, and we have created 10 Guinness World Records in SiliconAndhra. So when that idea came about in 2007, in February, on the International Mother Language Day, the leadership of SiliconAndhra decided that, okay, let us do something and then start an initiative where we want to teach our mother tongue to the kids who are born and brought up in America. And so, it was an opportunity for me to say that, okay, my daughter at the time was less than 10 years old, my first one. My second one was only 4 years old. I said, okay, man, I don't want to let this opportunity go. So I got my first daughter enrolled in there. And I thought, there is something that I need to give back, not just take advantage of the program. So I got involved in that from day one. And that involvement has become my life today after 17, 18 years. I have SiliconAndhra, and so far we have touched more than 100,000 students in SiliconAndhra ManaBadi. We are very proud to say that SiliconAndhra ManaBadi is the only accredited Telugu program in America and Canada.
Chala bagundandi. When I listen to you, I feel so proud. But Raju garu, you had a very, very successful stint and career in Silicon Valley's technology industry. You have a very grounded and sound tech background. For 20 years, you served the corporates. What motivated you? It's a very difficult crossroad, what you might say about your children and language and culture sounds so simple. But imagine you're in the land of opportunity, you're earning your mega dollars, and then suddenly what made you shift? It's a very dramatic shift from technology to cultural education. And you've dedicated yourself full time to promoting Telugu language and Indian fine arts. Many people do it as, a hustle, as a hobby, a passion, a side thing. But you took it on, bang on. You faced the elephant in the room and you sacrificed everything else to promote Telugu language. I mean, this is an incredible story, sir. Tell us about it.
So, Meenamma, leaders, we have to lead from the front. We knew, even though I was working in the field till 2016, from 1995 onwards, since my graduation, I have had a great opportunities in the corporate world. I went from engineer to a vice president in that short amount of time, and God has been kind, and I made some good decisions. And at some point, you need to do something beyond. God has a plan for everybody. There is a purpose that each one of us are in this world. Okay, and if I'm not doing my job as a vice president, there will be somebody else to do that job. So when this opportunity was there, and I have been a core volunteer of SiliconAndhra from 2007, since the ManaBadi started as a president and dean. So at some point, to scale it bigger, to take this mission to masses and more people, it needed more time. And for me, being a vice president in a high-tech world, and then having a family, 2 kids, and then they were in middle school or high school respectively, and and this responsibility of ManaBadi and then driving this, all 3 could not fit in. Something had to be left out, and I could not leave the family, and I could not leave my passion. I said, okay, profession can take a back seat now. And then sitting with my family, my extended family, everybody supported me. And if I did not make that decision, I don't think we could have achieved as much as we did today. Because today there are more than 50, 20 people who are like, you made a comment about full-time. This is not a part-time, full-time thing. This is a lifetime thing. We don't have weekends, we don't have evenings. So we are there trying to get done there is a quote that I would say, being a volunteer is a choice. But once you made that choice, it's no more volunteering. It becomes your responsibility. And then that is the responsibility that is driving us. Today, if the President of India is talking about SiliconAndhra ManaBadi in his speeches, then we feel that there's a lot much more responsibility on us. We need to execute better. We need to execute bigger. We need to take this to more and more people and give them an opportunity. If I can say an example, before the Ukraine war, SiliconAndhra ManaBadi had a center in Ukraine, giving them an opportunity to learn our mother tongue. And we
Wow.
see tremendous amount of impact in the next generation. There are so many students who are writing poetry by themselves, publishing books. That gives us immense pleasure and immense contentment. And we truly feel that, we are creating history here, Meenamma garu.
Raju garu, actually, a few weeks back, I spoke to Anand Kuchipotla garu on the same seat. And he actually stopped and praised you so much because he knows you're a true and worthy brother who has taken the cause ahead. And, it is very wonderful to watch and listen to this great man talk about you with so much of affection. Before I reach the main theme of ManaBadi, which is actually the theme of today, I want to know a little more. Now, we've come through from a village through winning contests to being trained in good schools, and then you come across to another country, you work 20 years, and then you decide that you have to serve your language and your culture. What skills or lessons from your time in the technology industry have helped you in leading large cultural and educational initiatives like the ManaBadi and the university? See, many people like the diaspora, I feel that Telugu is a very powerful source. The many Telugus have done us proud. But you've taken the Telugus to a different level of excellence. You've actually brought the language, the culture, the umbilicus of Telugu culture and put it here in this country. So what are the technology skills from your technological skill experience do you think you carried into that road? I'm asking you so I can lead you on to the next part of the story.
Certainly, Meenamma garu. So whether it is the corporate world or this ManaBadi, SiliconAndhra, the non-profit world, the mission is what is important, what you are achieving. And having a clarity of thought, the focus, and the interpersonal skills, how you can articulate the value of the mission to the people around you. So that would take us to the next level. And that is what helped me, that focus and the clarity of thought and having a plan on how we are going to achieve. So today, I can clearly say where we are going to be in 2 years down the line, 3 years down the line. It is not just me believing it. My core team, the strategy team, the people who are there, 40, 50 of them who are there with me every minute, every second, everybody knows that. Having that plan and then, articulating that clearly, so that will provide wonderful results. And that is what I have experienced in my corporate world. Coming from a different country, being here, starting a journey, from an engineer to going to scaling those corporate ladder. And this all stopped in 2016. So if I had that opportunity to continue the track in the last 8 years, I would have been at a CXO level in some company.
Yes.
But I feel good that India has invested so much in me. It has seen, I don't know, whatever, the people who have given me that opportunity, go to the India's best schools in my early childhood. I thought, doing something like this is giving something back to the country. In the history of 100 plus years of Indians immigrating to America, nobody ventured to start a university. So we are proud to say that this is the first university founded by Indians that is accredited, that's promoting Indian culture, Indian fine arts, Indian knowledge systems, Indian way of thinking. So we feel good, we feel great. We feel that it's an opportunity. God has chosen us to do something. And then
Yes.
in Anand Garu's leadership and vision, we are getting an opportunity to execute and then prove that India belongs at the place where we are the Vishwa Gurus of the world in the past, current, and in future. Our slogan in the university is "Future is ours." and we are trying to do that in every possible way. And the community has been great support all through this. And the students of the ManaBadi in the first batch, some of them are already doctors, some of them are already engineers, some of them have their own companies. So we feel good that the small children who came to ManaBadi to learn our mother tongue, today they are in a very good positions. So we feel good about the future.
Yes, for all our non-Telugu viewers, ManaBadi means my school in Telugu. Telugu is
Our
one of the
school, sorry
sweetest,
to
our
interrupt.
school.
Our school.
Yes, it is one of the sweetest languages declared in the world. Telugu is a language that has, given not just great scholars, great musicians, but also a lot of scriptures and relevance to Indian values. So taking Telugu language ahead, coming to a land like the United States, tell me your experience. How were the Americans in receiving us? I feel that, land of opportunity, any land is a land of opportunity, but the Americans, this particular story of the US, how was it? Was it easy? Were they able to understand the Americans, what the Indians are doing? Did they look at us suspiciously, or did they accept us with open arms?
Certainly, America is another home country for me. I've spent much of my lifetime, more so than in India, here in America. I'm a citizen of America. India and America both are like two eyes. That's how what we feel, everybody, my family and everyone. And America is the land of opportunities, Meenamma garu. And everything that you do, it doesn't matter if it is helping somebody else. This country gives you that opportunity to do what you need to do to support the community. It doesn't matter who is benefiting from it, but it was not difficult at any stage. As long as you are very clear, whatever you are doing it in the best interest of the people. And so we follow the Bhagavad Gita principle. You do your job not expecting anything in return, automatically this becomes a divine work. And we feel everything that we are doing is a divine work. And so God, our road has been full of challenges. God tests us all the time, all along, but he knows that this is the people that I have chosen to do this job. And it's just a playful game for the God. And we have had difficult times, but on the next day he will show us the way to overcome those challenges and then get to the next level. And in this country, if they have given us the opportunity to promote the Indian culture, the Telugu language, and it is a vast accredited language today. And if I can add also, for the high school students, we are in more than 60 high school districts. The ManaBadi curriculum is recognized as the world language credit language. So we feel good, and this is the land of opportunities. You do what is right for others. The country is here to help you, to support you, to promote your mission.
Prime Minister of India has always had ManaBadi and SiliconAndhra in focus. Very often, Prime Minister Modi and prime ministers before him also had spoken about how the Telugus have inculcated values and traditions of India. So also our chief ministers, whether they were of Telangana or Andhra Pradesh, they've also spoken with pride about, what your work y'all are doing. It's an uphill task. It's not easy. And, y'all have started India's first presentation for education. You often emphasize the importance of bridging cultural gaps and fostering cross-cultural understandings. Can you please share some stories of examples of, cases where language and culture, these two have become the bridge which has helped the borders come together, bringing communities? Do you have any such instances where language and culture have actually brought people together of different cultures?
No, certainly, just yesterday, from the Rotary side, we had celebrated a Diwali function, Rotary Club of SiliconAndhra at the University of SiliconAndhra auditorium. So we had not just Telugu people, we had, all Indians there. And we also had the Rotary leadership from the district, 5170. The district governor, Jill, was there. She was there with her family and several others. See, Indian culture is very rich and heritage full culture. So a lot of people go to India to experience it. What we are trying to do is bring a taste of that to America and then give them that taste. And even within India, every state has its own language. They have their own culture. They have their own traditions. But we are one country, and we are trying to bring that the concept of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. World is one global family. So today, ManaBadi is running in 12 countries. We do have students who are non-Indian background students in ManaBadi today. So we have a lot much more work to do to take this forward to more students, not just Indian students or Telugu students, but other people also. So we are truly operating at that level. Everybody loves our culture. They love our spicy food. And we are very true at heart. We want to get everybody together. We feel everybody is one family. So that concept of togetherness, the culture and heritage, that has not gone away. But lately, what is happening in India is everybody is becoming very busy with their lives and other things, and losing track of what made us great in the years past. So if you look back, a quote hundreds of years ago, there's a quote that says, centuries ago, India was centuries ahead of the rest of the world. But slowly we are losing that edge. But our goal is to create that kind of a platform in the university where, it is modeled after a Nalanda University or a Takshashila or a Ratnagiri. So we want to bring everything together, the East and West together, and then promote. So today, so that is what the world needs. We need to be together, not the finding ways to divide ourselves, but can we be together? Can we live happily? So that is the goal. End of the day, everyone wants to be happy.
Yes. Raju Garu, your Meenamma was a member of the GSC from India to Hudson Bay many, many years ago from the Rotary. The Rotary is, in fact, doing so much of wonderful work. I'm so proud as a Rotarian, the way they make life rotate around excellence. And I see that you're a very, very avid and very passionate Rotarian. The Rotary itself, is a world institution by itself. Apart from, fighting the war against disease and polio, the Rotary has also given a lot of programs. And you are a brother who is a true Rotarian, along with whatever you do. I want to know, you have won a lot of awards. I see your resume. Very quietly, you put it in the background when you talk only about your work in the school and the university. What do awards mean to you? Especially, the Rotarians have recognized you with so many awards, and also the cultural societies and your ecosystem. What do awards mean to you at this stage, sir?
It's very simple. More awards, there's more responsibility. The more awards, that means they like what we are doing. That means we need to do more of it. So in SiliconAndhra, from day one, Anand Garu and we all feel that we work beyond these awards, recognition and everything. What we do, what impact we create with the work that we do is more important than who is doing it. And so but these awards, they come our way, and then we feel good for that day, and we take more excitement and energy, and then the work starts again the following day. So nothing changes. These awards are a recognition for the language and for the work, not for us as individuals. But we feel when somebody recognizes the work of SiliconAndhra or ManaBadi, the 10 Guinness World Records, the University Rotary, it all makes us feel that we need to do more. We need to help more people. We need to serve. We need to love. So that is the goal. So awards, otherwise nothing else. It basically proves that what we are doing is right. That's all it is. But it doesn't take us to any other level.
Raju Garu, in the days to come, I can foresee powerful words like ManaBadi, SiliconAndhra will have a follow-up with names like Anand and Raju. I can see it. You are the leaders who are taking an entire revolution on ground and making it the world. The entire world is going to stand up and recognize it. But it must have been very difficult to create the SiliconAndhra structure, the ManaBadi structure. What are the biggest challenges? I know that we are still, on the starting line, but now we're a better team, isn't it? Rather than a one-man or a two-man show. Now we have brothers and sisters who have taken it seriously. But you must have had challenges. So tell us how difficult it was to actually knit together a team and start this? It's an NGO after all.
It's all about finding the right people. In this journey, we have come across so many good people, nice people. But you talk to 100 people, you won't win all the 100 hearts. That will never be the case. We are not in an ideal world. But as leaders, we need to find out, who is good for what kind of. It's basically bringing the passion and then their energy together. And as a team, it's the teamwork. Whatever is SiliconAndhra today, it's not one person's success or two people's success or 10 people's success. There are so many people who have been working with me, working with Anand Garu for this 20 some years. 20 some years. Santi Kuchubotla Garu, who is the wife of Anand Kuchubotla Garu, she is the vice president of our curriculum team. We have Danji Totapalli Garu from LA. He is head of another vice president for our publicity. And Prasad Josila Garu from Dallas, Sridevi Ganti Garu from California, Sneha Vedula Garu from California, Bhaskar Rayavaram Garu from Dallas. So you come across people, you do something right, automatically the people of the like-minded people, they gravitate towards it. You come across them, but you have to be open. You have to have open arms to welcome them and then make them part of your team. And then the journey starts. And then, we are all enjoying the journey. You talk to anybody in ManaBadi, they would say the same thing that I am doing. What I'm doing today is reflecting the impact of all of these people's hard work. And the difficulty was, in the first year, especially Meenamma. Today, after 17 years, ManaBadi is a known quantity. They know what exactly to expect from ManaBadi. But the first year, the first time when we started this, that time we faced a lot of difficulties. Going to knocking the doors, we don't even know who is behind the door. So for most part, you could say, okay, coming to a door, and then you can say whether there are Indians inside or not. You knock the door, we go home, go to them with the flyers and say, knock the door and say, excuse me, sir, are you an Indian? Are you a Telugu person? Do you have kids? We are starting this. Can you come? We know 2 years down the line, 3 years down the line, this would be at certain level. But to giving them that confidence that, okay, this is the Ivy League school for Telugu in making. So to getting that 150 students, very close friends of ours, they did not believe in this.
Yes.
But 3 months down the line, they were fighting with us to start another batch right away. They didn't want to wait till the next year because it is that is the experience that I have gained going to best schools in India. So I have to thank the government of India for that, because I know how to build these systems, scalable systems. That is my specialty. Building these volunteer teams, building the plans that sustain. We sustained COVID. When Ivy League schools like Stanford, Harvard, MIT, they were struggling to see how to conduct the classes. With a 45 minutes Zoom session, we converted 11,000 some students online in no time.
Wonderful.
So it is the brain that is the power. And we have greater than 2,500 brains working together with only one common goal. We want to give opportunity for the next generation to be the best that they can be. Whether it is music, dance, language. Now we are starting yogic sciences in the university. So much more. The sky is the limit.
Mr. Raju, for all our viewers out there, go and check out the story of Stanford, Harvard. When you say these names, you stand up with pride. You're going to say SiliconAndhra and ManaBadi very soon in the same terms, because we already hear the word Ivy League of language schools, of language education, when we hear of ManaBadi. So you feel very proud here. Normally, colleges and schools are either built by the government, corporate houses, or by families. But here there's a community of people, unrelated people coming together for a cause. And it's incredible, because this is the only truth that will last. If you can convince your community, which is the most difficult, the most critical, to join you in a war, to give education, to impart culture, then you are the greatest. It is the most difficult thing to do. What does, when people say Ivy League, what does achievement say about the power of grassroots community efforts? What do you feel? we are a team of communities, isn't it? And you say that it's not just about the Andhra people. There are other foreigners, there are Americans studying in our university. So what is that power? Can you explain that power of the common man?
It is basically the mission, the power of the mission, and then everybody who comes here, they want to have those connections, to the roots, their culture. So, but nobody wants to create the platform. I was gravitated towards all of this because I wanted my kids to not lose the opportunity to be connected with our culture. So, and once I know it helps my kids, but they always complain to me that, okay, everything that you do, you make us the first students there. But today they are reaping the benefits of that. So I know when my kids are benefiting from it, and we as the parents, we like what they're going through, then I know there are tens of thousands of such parents who would benefit from it. And it has proven, from 150 students to today, 12,500 students. And you talked about Ivy League schools, and you talked about war. I will say, in SiliconAndhra ManaBadi, we call the team the Bhasha Sainyam. This is the army fighting for the language. So that is what we feel. Everybody, we are doing it. And Ivy League schools, the names that we have talked about before, they have billions of dollars in the banks. They can do anything that they like to do, and we don't have that kind of a money, or we will never get to that stage. I wish I am there, but I will never get to that stage. But we are operating at that level because of the sheer will, the motivation, the impact that we are creating, and the happiness we see in these kids' eyes when they are learning, when they're speaking to their grandparents. I converse with so many grandparents when they visit America. They come, they come to the ManaBadi locations. They talk to me. They are so excited. That is what these grandparents are looking for. Having that very good relationship. The grandkids, they can express themselves with love, affection, and care. They are not looking for millions of dollars in the bank or nice cars or properties. This is the thing too. So in that respect, we are making so many people happy, Meenamma. Through our activities, we are making so many people happy. So when these kids go there to pick their grandparents at the airport, they say, how was your journey? Do you want to drink some water in their mother tongue? That 15 hours, 18 hours of flight, that's no more bothers, the grandparents. So, and mother tongue, in Telugu, if you say Tarala Madhya Antaram, so the gap between the generations, that is our focus. We want to eliminate that gap between those generations through the mother tongue. That is what we are trying to do. And we have more than 90%, parents, they come back and they say they love that program. And then they were going to, that is how we grew. We are a non-profit. We don't have, marketing dollars or anything else. So our students are our ambassadors. Our parents are our ambassadors. They are the ones who took SiliconAndhra ManaBadi from 150 students to today, 12,500 students, and to 60 high school districts for a foreign language or a world language credit. So this is very unique. And sometimes when we look back, Meenamma garu, honestly speaking, I do not know if we can recreate this, if we have to do it one more time, all over again. So it gives us goosebumps. Even after 17, 18 years, I can very clearly remember the first days of our ManaBadi, the first students, whatever has happened. I have done so many great things in my corporate world, but when I look back and say, okay, what did I accomplish in my lifetime? ManaBadi, SiliconAndhra, and everything else, comes after that. So it's a great pride, immense pride, and I want to thank and congratulate everybody who is involved in all of these things. One person cannot do this, and in fact, there are so many people trying to do this, replicate this, but there is some kind of an unseen energy in SiliconAndhra that is driving all of this.
Rajikar, actually, I come to a point when I was trying to get 10 topics for the Desi Trailblazers. I was thinking of education, and then, many people told me about ManaBadi, and I did my research. Everybody said, why is it so about Telugu? I said, it's not about Telugu, it's about India. So will there be a template that you can create that our brothers from Punjab, from West Bengal, India is a vast, diverse country and every state is so powerful. We see the community, the Gujaratis, the North Indians, the South Indians, East, West. You see so much of culture and so much of diversity in the culture, even in the United States. So will you be able to, sometime down the road, create a template that our brothers from other states can replicate? Because this is a success story of people. It's a people's movement. It's never about just one cause and one dream. Everybody has learned to dream together. If Andhra and Telugu can do this, can we steer a craft, an entire union of different people? Is there a template, a blueprint?
Yes, everything is available. Anybody who wants to come, we are a non-profit. We don't have anything to hide or share or anything. I would love to, if they want to partner with us in promoting other things and maybe starting other things, maybe Kannada school or Tamil school. I think there are several of those things are happening there already. If they need any knowledge or anything, any guidance, we are ready to do that. At the end of the day, we are Indians. Okay, and there are so many times parents come and ask us, okay, hey, you're already teaching Telugu. Can you teach us, this thing, maybe yoga, or maybe Bhagavad Gita and other things. So yes, there will be a time that comes, and then we can explore all of those possibilities. But today we are bringing all of these things under our university umbrella. Today we already have a department of Telugu, department of Sanskrit. We are working on other languages also, Department of Punjabi. University is universal. We are going to have programs that cater to everybody, everyone. And Meenamma garu, through your show today, I'm saying, we are open. If it's going to help certain segment of people, we are ready to think about it, what we can do, what we need to do. Experience, we will never shy away from sharing our experience and providing them that support. Today we are here because so many people supported us, so many people blessed us, and we want to do the same thing.
Yes. Indian culture is an assault on your senses, said a great man, in a very nice way. We have so much to offer. And the diaspora and brothers like you have done so much. Today, my last question to you, because of the paucity of time, I can go on and on talking to people like you who are so inspirational. But looking ahead, Mr. Raju, what are your hopes, your personal hopes, for the future of Telugu language education and cultural preservation amongst the Indian diaspora? I feel, I'm visiting California for my father to be with my father for a few months. But when I come here, I see that our children here know much more than the children back home. All of you are doing such a fabulous job. How do you see technology, global connections, or evolving teaching methods playing a role in this mission of yours?
Certainly, it's a very big question and a very deep question too. So it was easier for me to start, ManaBadi schools or anywhere, any country. But somehow in India, their focus is different. And I believe there is a lot much more work that we need to do in India in the next generation. To give you an example, here the students who are in the first, second, third batches of ManaBadi, they have become teachers and they are contributing back. Several of them are teaching today in ManaBadi. They not only learned from us, they are our students, the alumni, and now they are teachers. So we feel good. In very short future, the next generation will take over our mission. And then obviously it's proven that, generation to generation, their IQ levels are higher. So they would do a lot much better. They will do a lot much more to preserve and perpetuate our culture and our language. So there is some work that we need to do. We all need to do in India. Somehow in India, the focus has been slowly drifting away for the last 2-3 decades, away from what made India great. And then, they feel that, fine arts are not relevant anymore, our languages are not relevant anymore. It is partly government that need to focus, and also the communities, the parents, the universities. They need to see where we are heading. It's not just about being an engineer or a doctor. So community needs everybody. They need linguists, they need artists, they need musicians, they need everything. So that part I think we are missing. So I told you that I came from a very, very, very small village. When I was in my first grade, second grade in a government elementary school, we used to have a yoga instructor who comes to our school every week, once every week, and they were, teaching us yoga, the asanas and other things. But today, you go to a corporate schools also, none of this is there. There is no
Very
yoga.
true.
No, so some of these things need to be done there too in our country. And in January, I am attending a couple of conferences and in India, and this is exactly my point of discussion with them to see what more can we do, how they can support us to taking this to the next level, global level. That is the challenge, because otherwise, if we don't do it, some of this, the path that we are on, they will soon become irreversible. And we are seeing that as examples. I can quote South Africa. South Africa from Gandhiji's times, there are people, Indians there and the Telugu people there. All that they know is they are Telugu people, but they cannot speak Telugu, they cannot write Telugu, they cannot understand Telugu. So today they are finding out. They are finding out that they are missing out on so much, and that is what we cannot do. And very simple thing to understand, we as parents, we know Telugu. If we don't teach Telugu to our kids, it is basically you are taking the entire your vamsam, away from Telugu, because your kids are not going to encourage their kids to learn Telugu. So it goes on generation to generation, and eventually there will be a time where you say, okay, in my entire vamsam, there is nobody who can speak Telugu. None of them. When they drew the family tree, you say Telugu was there, Telugu was here, and then this is where it stopped. And that is what we cannot do, Meenamma garu. And that is what motivates us. That is what one student at a time, one kid at a time. Today, we have touched more than 100,000 students through ManaBadi. So we feel good, and this is an opportunity for everybody. And I want to invite everybody they don't have to be Telugu people. Anybody who wants to come join hands with us. We need more people, more leaders, more thought leaders, visionaries, people who can execute, who can build these teams, who can scale these operations. We are bigger than a university. Ivy League schools, they are in one place, maybe with 4 or 5 satellite offices. We are in 250 locations, completely run by volunteers. So there are a lot of operational logistics challenges. Anything that happens in the world today has, we feel that, it could have an impact to us. There's a war happening in Ukraine, so we had to close down Ukraine center. Somebody, there was COVID issues 3 years. So the content, the books, the things, the things that we want to get from a place to a B place, that takes a lot much more time. The shipping, from India to here was taking 15-20 days before. Now it is taking 50 days. So we have to always improve logistically and operationally, be the best that we can be, so that way we can create this opportunity for so many more people. And we feel that the next generation deserves a lot much more. And then we are seeing, through our own experiences, these students, they are becoming great neurologists or cardiologists, this, that. One thing I would say with my experience in the 17 years, you are good in your mother tongue, you can be good in anything that you choose to. Okay, so that we have seen tens of thousands of times.
Yes. The last 40-50 minutes have been very inspiring and thought-provoking. And this one major takeaway the government of India should understand, especially those who write our education policy, it's not debating about NCERT doing away with theory of evolution or the periodic table, which is a big discussion in India. It is not the inclusion of events like culture, language into our curriculum that should be debated. Can you imagine 10,000 miles away from Delhi, there are a whole lot of our brothers and sisters who are walking the path and doing their job of putting India into the global skies of educational excellence, all because they cared that they were Indian. So for our Prime Minister, I think, sir, this is the time for us to sit back and learn how to replicate the real Indian that is living in the diaspora in the United States. And today it's been a great honor to talk to this brother. Mr. Raju has shown us that, no dream is big and no mortal too small to achieve it. It's a great honor to have you with me, sir. And I wish the SiliconAndhra and ManaBadi story to go on and on, because you and I will expire. We come with expiry dates, but our children will watch you and me and want to walk that path, because we will leave our footsteps on the sands of time. And leaving this particular episode, I would like to say that I'm proud, and it is with great pride that I say Jai Hind and Vande Mataram to all of you. Thank you, sir, for being with us.
Thank you very much, Meenamma Garu, for having me on your show. And wonderful to talk about our initiatives. Jai Hind.
I thank Mrs. Ratnamala for allowing me to meet you, sir. And I'm proud to be living in Andhra Pradesh. I'm proud of the Telugu brothers and sisters.
Thank you.